Well, it's wetter than Stevie Wonder's toilet seats. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 27, Race 5 at Imola. And it's Imola town in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy, and that's why it's called the Emilia-Romagna GP. And, well, as I started, it's raining. And it's not often you get a wet quali. And this throws a lot of strategy in play for drivers. I don't know what it's going to be like in the race, and I will give Lennon a Liverpool update. And this track is like the Liverpool team, wet. Absolute mongs. And we have a first time ever mandatory pit stop race. So those that have been watching us already will have known we have mandatory tyre races. This week we're trying out a mandatory pit stop where drivers have to pit at least two times during the race, and we know that Imola can be a bit of a difficult place to overtake with the 1 DRS zone, and we thought we'd try and add a little bit of spice into the mix with an extra pit stop. And if it is a dry race, well, it doesn't matter if it's wet or dry, or both. I'm wet and dry at this moment in time with anticipation of what's to come. But drivers do have to pit at least twice, and what that does is means that they can choose whichever tyres they like, and throws plenty of strategy in play. I've noticed Katamid is going out on soft tyres, so trying to run out on softs, which is a very risky strategy. It doesn't look dry enough to me. What we will do is jump on with Ahmadi, who's going to do the first hot lap of the session. Our championship holder runs down the start-finish straight and will give us his first hot lap. Ripping wet, turn 1 kink down the straight, the only DRS zone of the circuit. And there's a car in the way. I don't think he would have helped that. He's pulled out, he's had to pull out that lap. So I will jump back on with Callan. As Amity has carried on to set a lap as we go round turn 5 and 6 of Villeneuve. Many cars will end up in the gravel if they go too wide. Around the tight hairpin of Tosa, need a great traction on the exit. There's a little bit swervy there from Callan as he climb uphill around the right-handed kink of turn 8, then can be flat out Piratella, which you can't really do in these conditions. So then start going downhill around the famous Akimanarali. It's important to get a great exit out of this corner of turn 12 as you climb back uphill up to the straight tight chicane of Alta, where again it's easy to invalidate where Callum has made it comfortably over there. A little climb uphill and back downhill where we see some slight overtakes, but you don't really want to before the double left 90-degree handers of Rivazza, as you won't get DRS, and around the final corner, which leads into the start-finish line, and Callum currently on provisional pole with a 23.9. Drivers will be doing many laps on these tyres and have plenty of fuel in the car. So we've got a yellow flag. I think that's the car getting out of the way. It looks like a McLaren. So we'll see these times drop. Sygate going in provisional P2 with a 26.9, and the more laps drivers do, the confidence they get in the car. And we will see some times dropping as previously mentioned. And Catany says there's a soft delta of minus 2.5 seconds apparently. I don't believe that. As Terry's has gone provisional P6 now with a 28 flat. Kizagis going up P4, 26.5. Benji, 26.0. And Rowley, reserve driver in the Aston, filling in for Theo today, goes up to provisional P2 with a 25.6. Project Tie which is actually Jack's. I'm going to have to remember to keep calling him Jack's with a 27.5 currently. So we've got caps lock here in the second McLaren, currently leading the way in the season's championship. Mr. Consistent on 116 points and ahead of Ahmadi on 105, and he's pulled out of this one. You don't want to stop and get stuck, you'll get disqualified. As Katz in the Haas goes up to P2, 24-1, and we're all going to be rooting for Katz this week. Meow, 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 meow. Yet to bag some points. The only driver on the calendar, on the line up to get any points, so we'll be hoping that he does follow through with some this week. Keys jumped at P5, just ahead of Big Raku, who's got a time of 26.4 currently. Everyone is on track as Portuguese 23.8, provisional pole for him, and he pulled it out of the bag last week. He's got the bunny in the hat. And Lennon up to provisional P2 with 23.9, just ahead of his teammates. As I said, that Callum goes to 22.7, so you can see as some heat gets into the tyres, the times will be dropping. Elite Dave getting his first time on the board at a 24.3. Three drivers yet to set a time. Ahmadi pushing the limits now to get held up in qualifying by Big Raki. Potentially hope he doesn't dob him in, but you never know. Sygate up to P6 in the second Red Bull with 25 flat. And Project Ty looks like he's potentially going to try some soft. It does actually look like it's drying up. You can't see any more rain. So this will be interesting to see if any drivers do jump onto some soft tyres. And that does mean that the end of qualifying will heat up. It's raining there. The pit shows it's raining. So it will be potentially a big call from Project. We've got a yellow flag. It's the McLaren again out of the way. Terry's going off-road as Capslock gets the time in of a 23 flat. His form's continuing as Ahmadi gets the time on the board with a 22.726. Woo! That's tight. That's tight at the top right now. 200ths between Ahmadi and Callum. And we've got some good lads on the board. Marty coming on the track has just pulled out of a lap. Thankful for joining us this week. Just recovering from norovirus, that's why he wasn't here last week. Man City goes up 2-0. Come on, Marmouche. I hate City. They've got no fans, I hate City. But I've got Marmouche as captain of my FF, so I need him to bag some points. As Catanese goes into the pit, so still yet to set a time, and will he go for those soft tyres? There's plenty of drivers are jumping in now, whether they're running out of fuel or and changing some inters, all going for those soft tyres. This is gonna be an interesting one. As Marty's invalidated, so he's gonna have to go again. Aston Martin slipstreaming behind him, and that's Rowley taking advantage of that slipstream up to provisional P3, 22.9. Joined us for the first race of the season, but has been watching from afar. I have a feeling he got P5 or P6, so some decent pace at Silverstone. And there's looking good so far. Imola. Don't go on the wets, Benji. You don't need to do. There we go. I feel it in my fingers. That's what you would have got if you went out wet, wet, wet. I can feel it in my toes. And we've got some cars coming out on the softs. Portuguese invalidated, so I'll probably think he's going to go in. What's Geezer doing? Just coming round. Rivatsa now, finish off his lap. Will he finish it lap or will he dive in the pits? Save some time, he dives in the pits, so good call from Geezer. Marty's still out on those inters, so I think he'll be diving in as well. He'll be seeing the drivers around and going on the soft tyres. No, he's setting a lap first. He's setting a lap first, and where will we see Marty go? P5, so still some decent times getting in for the inters. 23-1. Imagine what he can do on the softs. Ooh, and fast. So Callum's gone out again on the intermediate, so Callum's still not thinking it's dry enough for the soft tyres. Let's see what we can do in this lap. Can he improve on his previous time? A little bit loss of traction on the curb as he comes round turns 5 and 6. We'll see you at the end of sector 1. He's up just slightly, so not much of a improvement. It's enough to get him onto provisional pole though. Amadi is holding out on those soft tyres in the pits. Watching from bars. Callum loses his back end. He nearly span round like spaghetti on a fork. But managed to keep it on with the spoon. So keep an eye on Mr. Katz. He's the first one to do a hot lap on the soft tyres. I might be lying it. No, Catherine's behind him. So Katz, the first one on the softs. He's looking He's looking like Bambi on ice. He's climbing uphill. Going around Piratella, still looking quite ropey, and it's going to be tricky as we go around Ackerman and Ali. And we'll see what his time is at the end of sector 2. And I think a lot of drivers will be watching from afar. He is up slightly on his time, so potentially it is driving. Oh! Did my eyes deceive me, or did he go out off the track then? The game's being nice to Katz. Can he improve on his current P8? He's got a couple of tenths to jump a position. He comes round turn 18, a little bit loss of traction, still a little bit slippery. Goes in the pit, so maybe it's not the right call. There's one or two still doing an out lap. What can Katamis do? Still to yet to set a time. And he's carrying on going, so he's setting a lap. This will be a good omen of what P11, so not great, but then also Katamis is on 0-0 wings, which is not really beneficial on this circuit. So as Caprock has gone out again on inters, and he's up 7 tenths. So Inter seems like the tyre to be, actually. Could Capsock have made the right decision and got himself on pole? Can I see coming round? Can you kick it? Round sets the fastest second sector. There's a Red Bull ahead of him as Amadi is actually invalidated. So 1.3 seconds. The track is... I'm lost for words. As he comes around the final corner, we'll get a little bit of slip. Oh, not that much though. Born slippy. He's not born slippy. He's born on provisional pole with it on 21-2. Wow, wowzers. You like to see it. Who've we got next coming? Lennon invalidated. He's not going to set a time. We've got Big Racky on a set of softs now then. This he's invalidated as well. These softs are not being kind. As Katami's invalidated as well. So Katz is coming back out the enters, which gives me a sign that softs was the wrong tyre. So I think everyone's going to be trying jumping back into the pits and get on those enters. Capslock. Oh, he's just doing all the right things so far this season. Like, if Capslock gets pole, like, it's not like I don't expect it, but it'll be his first pole for Lights Out League Racing, and I'll be speechless. Just like Kermit the Frog at his puppeteer's funeral. Because, yeah, he's on it. He's on it. Is he improving again? No, he's on another down lap. And he's diving in the pits again, so... Ooh. Callum 6 tenths up on his time. Katz is doing his out lap. Who've we got coming round? We've got a Big Racky first. Let's see what Big Racky... So he's 2 seconds up on the soft tyres, which will currently get him up to P6. So maybe now's the time to be on the softs. And maybe Callum's made the wrong call. I can't cope. As Big Racky crosses line, provisional P4 with a 22.8. As Callum's coming round, he will improve on his time. He's actually invalidated, so he's not going to improve. Marty's just starting his time. Terry's jumps up to P10 on the soft tyres. Improves his time by 2.4 seconds. So softs, I think, may be the way to go. Project Ty up to P7, 23.1. So it's I don't know. I really don't know. I'm lost for words. I don't know how this is going to end up. We've got everyone an out lap. There's a Haas coming round. Katz is invalidated. He's getting out of the way of the Red Bull. I think that was Ahmadi on a out lap. Or is this Benji? No, it's not Benji. It's somebody else. Who's going to cross the line? I can't see. Let's see what Katz does. Sidegate's left the session, so he's called it a day. Oh no, I think he's lost. I'm going to have to do this quick. He just fell out the lobby. Right, we've got 25 seconds to go. And Marty! I missed Marty! Marty's on provisional pole with a 28 on the inters. Who's going to do this? Capstock's coming out. He's not going to improve. As Callum goes on now, provisional pole, the 22. The times are going to be dropping. Portuguese is retired from the session and he won't get any higher than P8. Who's coming round next? His teammate Kiesegees. No, that's Portuguese. He's called that a day. Who's coming round? Who's going to cross the line? Benji Boy, P5. Great lap from him. We've got a Red Bull. It won't be Sidegate. It'll be Ahmadi. He's almost 8 tenths up on his current time. We'll get him to 21.9s. He needs to find a bit more time as Elite Dave goes up to P2. Katz up to P2. Go on, Katz. Meow, 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 meow. Terry's, is that you? No, Capstock is invalidated. So it's Ahmadi. Capstock won't finish any higher than P5. What can Ahmadi do in this final sector? There's an Alpine behind him as well. Ahmadi provisional pole, 20 flat. Lennon up to P4. He'll be happy with that one. Terry's jumping in the pits. Who've we got next to come round? It's a bright blue car, so I don't know who it is. As Katamis goes behind his teammate P4. He's going to be a fucking nuisance. Geezer P7 and Rolly in the 19s with a 19.9 and stole pole at the final minute. And it was all about timing. As Benfica's 1-0 just for Portuguese's benefit. But my benefit, my heart can't take it. Rolly takes pole at the Emilia-Romagna GP. Yeah, that weather was mad. That weather was absolute carnage. So Rolly jumping on pole, the 119.9. I'm a DP2. Callum goes P3 and Katz P4. Katamis P5, joined by Lennon on the row 3. Keys 7, Elite Dave 8, Marty 9, and Katz round off the top 10. Cool. I was, I don't know. Benji 11, Project Ty 12, Raki 13, Portuguese 14 now. Terry's 15th, and Cygate at the rear. Let's see if I can re-invite. Yeah, Callum says he had a mare, and it was all about. Oh, we got wet again. It's wet again. I didn't know it rained this much in Italy. Oh my god. Oh my god. So this is going to make it interesting, because if it's wet, I'm trying to invite you, Cygate. There we go. I'm just sending you an invite now. Let me know if I don't know if you're in or not. It's 2 stops even if it's wet. It's mandatory 2 stops for every single driver, no matter what the weather is. And Cygate's gone out again. I don't know what's happening with him. He keeps. He had this issue before. I've sent you another one, Cygate. Come on, we want you in. There we go. Come on, stay in. So yeah, put your predictions in the chat. If anyone's chatting. Current how the land lies. Caps Lock, I said, leading the way in the drivers. Mamadi currently P2 with Theo, who's not with us this week, who's probably going to lose his position, potentially P4, 3. P4 down to P11 is 23 points in it between Terry's and Portuguese. As we'll have a look. Everyone's starting on the Inters. Let's see if it does a qualifying and completely changeable weather. But this does make it interesting. It's a 4.9 kilometre anti-clockwise circuit, 19 corners, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Just the one DRS zone, which won't be active. So it's going to be interesting to see people's strategies. This is a track that's been on the circuit in F1 since 1980, and then it took the place of Monza, and then since then, for a while, it was worked in tandem with Monza, and took the name of the San Marino GP up until 2006. They stopped using the track because the pits and paddocks were too small, and they couldn't extend it because of a river. Behind it, but it returned as the Emilia-Romagna in 2020. I do like this track. It divides drivers. It's an old school track steeped in history, with many named corners, I said, during the hot lap, and I like it. It's such a thrill ride. It's so high risk, high reward, and it's 100% chance of a safety car, 33% chance of a VSC, and with the 2 pit stops, it's a big pit stop here with 29 seconds lost. So as a plot and play, as Rowley runs down to take his grid on position on pole, it's a 553 metre run down to the breaking point of turn 2 as it is. As Rowley gets in his grid, Amadi get leading down with Callum behind him. Katz and Katamis, P4 and 5, they will not want to collide in the first chicane, and will have to take it at a measured rate. Lennon P6 in the second Alpine, Kieser in the lead, Merck P7, Elite Dave P8, where's his teammate? P9 for Marty, great to see him on track. As I said, Capstock's got a lot to do. P10, Benji Boy P11, Project Type P12, his first run out of the season. Big Raki 13, Portuguese 14, last to finish. And then Terry's and Cygate, but we're on Rowley at the front. 4, 5, it's lights out, and away we go, and they've got a good launch off the line. Katz has already gone off, as Callum's had a really bad start off the line, has lost quite a few places, same as Katamis, as Rowley will lead us down. Will everybody make it through? There's a bit of a collision between the Alpine drivers, and I think Callum's the one that's slightly lost out. He's lost the position to Elite Dave. They're side by side going round the turn. There's a yellow flag, and who we lost? It's a Red Bull, and it's Cygate. That's unfortunate. And has he got wing damage? As we see Kieser getting ahead of Benji Boy, and Callum getting past his teammate Round Tosa as he climb uphill up to turn 8 and to turn 9 to Piratella. There's a yellow flag still, and it's Cygate. He's struggling to get his car going. as Marty gets up to P7 and drifts round the first part of the Imola-Romagna. Newcastle 1-0. He's still got a yellow flag. It's Sygate's car. He's got wing damage. And he's got himself going. And we've lost Caps Lock as well. Around the outer chicane. And he's down now to P15. The Portuguese has got himself up to P7. So he's going for the almost last to first. But Rowley's continuing to lead the way. As Marty's now going into the pits and getting his first pit stop out the way. Early days. Caps Lock join him as well as Catamese has got ahead of Keyser. I need my fucking pen. And it's not a wing change, it's a pit stop. So, and I don't think that was a wing change for either for Caps Lock. As at Sygate's car again, I don't know what's happening, might have to just send him another invite. Let me just knock them off before I forget. The Caps Lock getting rid of one and Marty, sorry. And Rowley has got Armady for company and Cats as well has managed to stay with him. Big Raki getting past Project Ty around the Piratella. Great overtake, and it's a shame I've missed it. As Raki out struggle as we've got a VSC. We've got a VSC. Will anyone stay out long enough for everyone to take a pit stop? I think the game's having an issue with Sygate. I'm sorry. I don't know what I can do, Sygate. I'll as it looks like everybody's potentially going round still. No one is. So Catamese is going in and making use of the VSC and getting rid of one of his pit stops. I would be surprised if no one else did. And will save himself some time, half the time. I'll try and re-invite you, Sygate. I don't know what's going on here, mates. This game sucks sometimes. Oh my days, was that Callum as well? Is that... I need to see that. I need to see it. Drive through for Callum as well. Oh, this throws a spanner in the works. And that's a shame for Rowley, who's running so well in P1. And Cats is all over Amadi. Has he got a bot driving for him? Or is that Amadi struggling in the wake of Rowley's car? As Terry's making a move on Project Time around the Imola-Romagna. Good move from Terry's up to P11. And I'd have to say before they do pit, to Sygate pits and gets himself a fresh wing as well, that a drive-through does not count as a pit stop. As Callum is getting his out of the way now, Rowley's decided to carry on through and do another lap. So Callum will be hoping for another potential safety car. There's Amadi all over the back of Rowley and trying to make a move, but Rowley's defending well. As we've got Callum just... It's a safety car. What's the safety car come out for? Sygate. So Callum will actually probably be thankful for that and maybe make his move. Marty is going in again, and that will be Marty. Pit stops done and can go to the end. Wow. And what this does do is how's this work for Rowley? He's getting a wing change as well. How's this work for Rowley? Because he's got to serve a drive-through. Well, as far as I'm aware, you can't serve a drive-through during a safety car. So this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted with this format. And I know the rain's added a little extra bonus, a little bit of extra chef's kiss to the format. But there's drivers doing different things and choosing to do different things depending on what happens during the race. And it just throws it all into complete whack. Now everyone is going in. I need to check on Rolly whether it does it as drive-through or a pit stop. Energy is going on, so his does go as a pit stop. Dave and Kat's carrying on. No, Kat's is in. So Big Racky's gone through. Rolly has served his. Right, let's see if I can just bear with me while I just jot this all down, otherwise I'm going to lose my momentum. Lennon Portuguese. Katamise has gone through, so he's just served his one. Benji. Funny, I can't find people's bloody names. Terry's and Keys are both giving in. Callum has gone in for a pit stop as well, which I expected he would, with a bit of short-term pain. Project Ty went in. Who have I not knocked off? Oh, why have I knocked him out? He's Jax. What a dick. I keep forgetting. What a dick. And Racky's the only one that has chosen not to, but will lead the race. So this might have been a bad call from Racky. I think he should have taken advantage. Stops under the safety car do count as well, for anyone that's not sure. The Big Racky will lead us round. We'll just wait for the last couple of cars to join the pack. So, if the conditions are staying like this, then you'd like to say that Marty's in a good position, considering he does not have to pit again. Yeah, the only thing that doesn't count, D, is the guys' drive-throughs, which the biggest loser is going to be Rolly. Callum's lost out, but it's not all lost right now. So, doing another lap under the safety car as we're just waiting for Callum, Marty, and Caps Lock to join. And I think it is quite a distance away. While we're waiting for go round, anyone want to hear a joke? Well, I've got loads of jokes about unemployed people, but none of them work. How do emo kids? How many emo kids does it take to screw a light bulb? None. They just sit in the dark and cry. Rain looks like it's pouring, so I'll be surprised if it clears up. But it did shock me in qualifying that it did. And at the moment, net P1 will be Armour D with Cats P2. What's happened to Portuguese here? Has he gone off? Oh, Portuguese. What have you done, Mo? Oh, you're not watching Benfica at the same time, are you? Oh, Portuguese. He said when he came back racing with us that he was a little bit rusty. And we should see the safety car in this lap. He did say he was a little bit rusty, but oh, losing it under a safety car. Oh my god, oh my god. So what we'll probably see here is actually a tiny bit of a gap for Big Racky. He's going to hold up the pack as much as he can to let the safety car go into the pits. You can't overtake until the timing line. So there's Capstock and Marty exchanging places as well. What is going on there, lads? But then I think Amadi can't overtake Big Rolly, and Rolly might end up in the pits to serve his drive-through. And Big Racky's gone. That's a little bit of drift round the turn 18. And what will Rolly do? Rolly's carrying on going for now, so he's going to have to serve it again, we think probably in the next couple of laps, but Big Raki has brought a big gap between him and Rowley. And Armidi's right on the gearbox of Rowley, and we've lost Marty. Marty's retired in the pits. I think he's suffering a bit from his norovirus, and it's such a shame. Thankfully he joined us, but yes, as Rowley's just closing that gap a little bit and put a bit of air between him and Armidi, but Katz is all over Armidi still. And Elite Dave now up to P5 is sticking with the front boys. And what's going to be integral here is Callum gets past Jack Daniels up to P11, and Portuguese following through as well, not in his pants. Oh, look at that drift, going really wide on Piratella. And Big Raki gets the first one with track limits, and that will not help him as he defends going into the outer chicane. And Callum now getting past Geezer up to P10, climbing up the hill up to the outer chicane, so good overtake there. No, thank you for trying to join us, Marty, very much appreciated. Terry's knows it's not his fight, and Callum goes through as Rowley does go into the pits and serve his drive through. And I think he's lost a couple of places going through the final chicane. Armidi takes that fastest lap. Callum charging up the grid now, up to P8. I think it's just Rowley serving his drive through, and it's unfortunate. Really annoying when that happens, but keep it under the delta. And Big Raki's got a second gap between him and Armidi, so looking very strong on this track, and I'm really gutted for him that he didn't actually pit when everyone else did, as Lennon getting past Benji Boy just before Tosa climbs uphill and got himself up to P6. The Cat's still joining that front three, and what a way to get your first points on the board and bagging a podium. And it's currently got net P2. Dave will also get himself, he's already got a podium this season at Spa, got himself P3. He knows he can fight with the big boys as Keys and Capslock battling hard through the outer chicane. Capslock gaining that advantage and up to P11 as Jax gets himself a track limits, and I think he's struggling a little bit with traction. He's drifting round some of the corners as Ahmed now takes the lead of the race past Big Raki. Cat side by side, he's got the inside of turn 2 and takes the position. Callum getting the move on Benji Boy as Capslock gets past his team. I think there's a bit of team play there as Terry's don't want to hold him up, and we'll try and hold up a bit of Geezer behind him. Portuguese now making the move up to P8 before Villeneuve chicane, as Callum on the inside of his teammate giving him plenty of room, and that's good team play again. He's got to now get past the fridge of Katamiz, who's 2.3 seconds ahead of the front four. Katz has got past Big Raki, as I said, a great move there. Katamir, this is going to be a bit of a struggle. He's a cork in a bottle. Callum is a very seasoned driver, just clips the back of Katamiz, gets quite close to him. He's having a look on the inside of turn of outer chicane. Katamiz defends well, but I think he'll struggle to defend as we head down towards turn 17 and 18 of Rivatsa. I think Callum's just holding out. It depends what Katamiz's strategy, his setup is. Callum will want to try and make this move going down the start finish kinky straight. Is he close enough to make the move? Katamiz is pulling away as Elite Dave trying to make a move on Big Raki. No, actually Big Raki made the roof and got himself up to P3. Great move as the big snap was from Elite Dave getting back into the slipstream. But Callum is going to be quite infuriated. He's going to be one of few as actually Katamiz loses position coming out of turn 6 and defends the inside of Tosa, locking wheels a bit with Callum. Callum's now side by side, but just slots back ahead of Lennon. And is going to find it difficult to get past Katames, who's slow on this middle sector. And Callum has a look on the inside, tries a bit of a switch back as Katames does go wide and drifts and won't be able to defend that. Great move from Callum. And Katames was trying to defend with all his might, but just drifted off the circuit. And would have had to let the position through anyway, and gets himself a track limits for his efforts. Callum up to P5. So Amadi's now broke a second gap from Katz. And I think what Katz needs to do here is just run his own race and not try and force it and stick with Amadi. There's still pit stop to go for everybody except Big Racky, who should... Is there going to be dry weather coming up? Is he gone that route and waited for it to dry up and just pit in? Although you have to pit twice. You have to pit twice. What? Where did Elite Dave go? He's turned into a rake. He's tidying up the gravel. And that's put him under threat from Callum now as Rowley sets up a fastest lap. And Callum not quite close enough to make the move. And Elite Dave, he missed his braking point, just shot off the track. Oh, that's unfortunate. He was running well with Big Racky, and that just takes a bit of pressure off Big Racky to pump in some laps. Katames sticking with Callum at the moment, and Lennon will be the next one who want to try and get past this. Portuguese actually makes a move on the inside of Lennon going round Perazza. Lennon defending the inside of Akin Minali, but Portuguese makes that move stick. Great move, great driving from both of those two. Very clean. And Portuguese now up to P7, and will try to get past the Lardas Katames. As Giza making a move on Terry's before the outer chicane. Great move from Giza. Terry's just getting adjusted to these conditions. Had a great start to the season, got 2 P4s in a row as Callum now gets past Elite Dave. What's happened to Elite Dave? He's pitting, so he's making his second pit stop, and it's probably a wise move. I've lost my fucking pen. Oh no! It's always a dangerous move when that happens. And he's gone into the wets. Interesting. Was he supposed to do that? Oh, that'll be interesting to see how Elite Dave gets on the wets then, and that'll be a good show for everybody else. Elite Dave making that second one, and that's him done. Let's see what he can do. If the fastest lap, well, we'll see. He's, what, 7.3, as his tyres are a bit cold at the moment behind Rowley. Let's see how he gets on. He is dropping a bit, but it's got a dry line. I would have thought Inters would have been the tyre to be on. Amadeus still leading the way. Hey, Daft Chip, nice to have you with us. Katames for the surprise victory. It's P5. He does have a track limit, so it'd be difficult for him to get that victory unless everyone else on the circuit does. As Callum makes a move on Big Racky, going around Ravazza. Ravazza will have the slipstream behind Callum, but Big Racky still needs to pit twice, so it's a bit of a ghost position for him. I think he's potentially holding out for another safety car, but that will benefit everybody else. Who knows? Catspot getting past Benji. Again, just before Ravazza. No, I lie. Not at Ravazza. He made the move at Tamburello. My eyes deceive me. Okay, Dave's rooting for Cats, and to be fair, in my heart, I'm rooting for Cats as well. One to get some points. It's Katames and Portuguese battling for P5. Katames has it for now. Lennon's lost out behind as Portuguese has got past him. The Portuguese struggling to get past Katames. Katames defending well, but it's all down to his tyre wear. As we all go single file for now. And Elite Dave currently losing time on these wet tyres, but Rowley has shown some really good pace, so it's probably not relative. to Rowley's pace, because he's gained about 4 seconds just on Terry's at the moment, as Jax has managed to get ahead of Terry's. 0-0 wing strong as ever, to a limit. This track's not really the one to do 0-0. If it only works for Catamies, I think. Yeah, Project Ty got himself up to P11. And we'll look to be chasing down Kiza Giza, who's dropped from Benji in P9. So, it's tricky conditions. But running well currently. So, the battle at the moment is this 4-car train with Catamies, Portuguese, Lennon and Caps Lock. Caps Lock now up to P8 as Portuguese makes the move at Tosa on the outside, and Catamies is going to have to slip behind. A little bit of struggle of traction off the corner, but great move from Portuguese, up from P14 now to P5. And he'll have his eyes set on Big Raki as Rollies makes the move on Terry's, uphill after Tosa. I think Terry's is just, looks like he's just trying to keep it consistent at the moment. Potentially trying to stop himself getting track limits, because they do. Yeah, I think it proves that these wings aren't indefendable, but they are a nuisance. Benji Boy has now joined this train of Catamies, and Portuguese has joined, as we've actually got a pit stop from Caps Lock. So another early pit stop from Caps Lock, and that will be him done for his mandatory pit stops, and he is going on to fresh Inter tyres. Of course, they don't have an unlimited set of Inters because they had to use some in quali, but that's Caps Lock done, and he's just going to burn some laps in them now in some fresh air. So don't rule out Caps Lock for a podium here. I think what will hinder him is a safety car. There's Terry's, as I mentioned, gets himself a track limits. Wah, wah, wow. And where did you do it? Oh, okay. Through Tamburillo. Okay. Ramadi now 5.2 seconds. Callum's caught up on the back of Cats. And Cats has been driving really well. There's a bit of traction coming out as Portuguese has managed to get past Big Raki after Minerali. And Big Raki will be on the one with the longest set of tyres here. And he does need to pit twice. I hope he remembers this. Otherwise he will get disqualified. You need to pit, Raki. It's not a one-stopper as Callum makes the move and Cats and gets himself up to P2. But Cats has been showing some fantastic pace. And I think he'll be sticking with Callum. So Callum's fought back well, considering his drive-through. And served his first pit stop under the safety car, so didn't really lose out that much. And a little bit lost of traction there for Callum. And oh no, what's happened to Caps Lock? No, this will not be fair. And he's actually, what's this lobby doing? Get back in and race, you bitch. This game sucks sometimes, and have they just completely given up because the new one's coming out in a couple of months, next month? Absolute knobheads. I'll send him a quick another one. This game sucks big balls. So if he gets back in that car, because he's losing time. It's such a shame. He has such a fantastic... I'm fuming. Alright, lap 17 out of 32. Armady P1. Callum now P2. And he's 5 seconds behind, so potentially closing his Catamies. Gets past Big Raki. Going down the start-finish. And we got a yellow flag. Who was the yellow flag for? I don't know who was that went off track. I think it was Big Racky. He's lost a couple of places and down to P8, so it must have been Big Racky gone off, which is such a shame. But Big Racky, you need to pit twice. Come on. It was in the check-in brief. You were one of the first ones to check in. Pit, please. No. Elite Dave has closed the gap now on Project Ty. And we'll be going to the end of the race, so it might be beneficial for him. We'll have to see how the land lies at the end of the race. And Capstock just hasn't rejoined. He's just scored now, so I'll have to fill you in on that. Callum closing in on Amadi, so Amadi still not, and sets a provisional fastest lap at 25.2. And we've got another yellow flag. I think it was Elite Dave or Terry's, one of those two, coming out of the Acqua Minerale. Oh, Elite Dave. Elite Dave, no. 10-second penalty for Dave as Big Racky now goes in the pits, and Rowley goes in the pits to serve his second one. Now this is where it heats up. I think Elite Dave's called it a day. I think he's retiring in the pits because there he goes. Yep, I don't know what happened, but he's called it a day. That's a shame, and VRB will be getting no points this week. So it does mean Racky and Rowley. Racky and Rowley. Whoa! It's Racky and Rowley. Whoa! And Capstock, his car is in the pits as well. And going on the wets, and I think people can't drive side by side. I assume it's with Terry's potentially. Just send it through to the stewards, mate, if you're unhappy. People can drive side by side. It's just tricky conditions, remember. And I think you were overtaking at Acqua Minerale, which is a tricky couple of corners. Capstock's left the session again. For God's sake, this game. We lost Cygate, and potentially Capstock is having an absolute nightmare. And especially when he's up there fighting for the championship. It's a big hamper. I think he just needs to damage limitations for this week and just get some points on the board. As Lennon and Keys are now in. And they've gone on some fresh and Terry's as well. Lennon, Keyser and Cherries? Lennon, Keyser and Terry's all getting on some fresh into tyres. Terry's coming out. Rowley just coming down. Coming out side by side. He gets ahead of Keyser actually. And up to P10 for him. Terry's will come out P12. Capstock, I don't know if he's back in his car. I'm really gutted for him. I really am. I'm really gutted for Cygate as well. Yeah, they turn up each week. You should be able to, Capstock. Let me send him a... 1 second. So, Cat's now going in the pits. Don't want to miss this one. Getting his pit stop out of the way. Well, 1 second, guys. I apologise. I'm just getting hold of Capstock. Italian hand gesture for Jax Daniels. It's Bournemouth 2-0, losing 2-0 to Sorry guys, just sorting out caps lock so we can get him back in the car. And I think he's back in. I think he's back in. He's back in. Good. I think he had trouble getting back in his car when he disconnected. Oh. To be fair, I didn't know how to do it because I never used to have to do it. Yeah. Disappointing. So Jackson served his second one. So Amadi, Callum as Benji Boy goes in now, taking that punt with about 12 laps to go. I think it potentially must be dry all race. Castamies, of course, served that first served the first. Rowley getting himself a fastest lap for his troubles. As Benji Boy comes out behind Big Racky, who's still yet to pit again. Come on, Big Racky, pit again. Katamis is to get up to pit, so I think if Katz pulls up behind him, as Callum now goes in, and this is where it's 4.3 seconds. He's going to try and do a bit of an undercut on Amadi. This is where the sparks will fly. Portuguese jumping in as well, getting his mandatory 2 stops out of the way. Will we see Katamis do it? I know Katamis carries on and is now up to P3. Benji gets the track limits for his troubles. And Kat's taking provisional fastest lap, 24-7. Now Kat's, this ain't no joke. This guy's got some speed. And is currently provisionally in as Lennon gets himself up to P5. It's just ahead of Portuguese who's just come out. Callum making a quick move past Katami, so made light work compared to last time. And he'll be happy with that. And now just pump some times in. He would not want to get stuck behind Katami's, knowing that Armadi has to pit still. Armadi comes around with Vatsa. Will he pit now? He does. And this will be interesting to see what the gap is like with Callum as Callum's come around the outer chicane. He's pumped in a fastest second sector. And he was about 30 seconds behind. It's a 29-second pit stop. Zamadi is leaving now. Surely there's not that big a gap. Caps Lock is now in the pits and getting off back onto some Inter tyres, so damage limitations for him, potentially trying to get an extra point for the fastest lap. It's in his remit, he can do it. So Callum has actually gained time. He's now 3.6 seconds and his tyres will be a lot warmer than Armadi, who's just come out of the bags. Katami's running in P3 for now as Rowley banging in those fastest laps. Currently P8 and closing in on Big Racky with Benji Boy in tow. Big Racky still needs to pit again. I think he was holding out for a safety car and should have pit in the earlier one like everyone else. But hindsight's a bitch. Kiza Giza running in P10. He may benefit from some penalties. Running his own race for now. Jack Daniels P11. And you still see his car drifting. It doesn't look like he's got the right setup at all. I'm really struggling. And the McLaren boys. The Papayas. Ooh, it's going to throw a big spanner in the works in the constructors. They've got a 26-point lead at the top ahead of Aston Martin. But of course, Theo's not here this week, so they're only going to get points from as Keezer gets himself track limits. So Aston Martin are P2, but they're going to get points. They're only going to get currently points for P11 for for Jax Daniels. So Red Bull P3 joint on points with Alpine, and there's only Amadi who's currently in P1. Alpine P4, who've got Callum and Lennon bagging points. This is going to make things interesting in constructors. As Rowley makes a move on Raki ahead of Villeneuve chicane. And Benji going through as well on the outside of Tozer. Raki tries to defend the inside, but is struggling. And it's down to P9. I'm pretty sure he'll probably slow down to battle with. And as mentioned, Katamise lets Cats through. Great team play there. And Big Raki gets himself another track limit. Will we see a podium for the Cats, man? Amadi setting the fastest lap for now. Come on, Raki, you need to pit, my guy. Those that need to pit still is Big Raki. And Katamise. Is it supposed to be dry at the end of the race? I don't know. Maybe that's what they're both holding out for. It doesn't look like it'll be dry enough, even if it stopped raining now, to be dry enough till the end of the race. As Rick Raki is now in. My guy, you have my heart pumping then. I do not want to disqualify you. I had to disqualify your teammate last week for only using 2 sets of compounds and not the 3 in the mandatory tyre race. Big Raki comes out in P11, which promotes the Aston Martin up to P10. Callum now 3.3 seconds, so not closing as quick as he'd like. There's 8 laps to go. 7 as he just starting lap 26. And we've got a yellow flag. What's that? Was it Rowley? Rowley, yep. Rowley. Keep rolling, Rowley. Was he battling with Benji? I think he's probably battling with Benji maybe. He's lost a couple of positions. Newcastle 1-1. And Bournemouth have pulled a goal back. Still nothing for Liverpool that I see. Still must be 0-0. I can look to double make sure. Amadi currently leading way and will look to get himself back on the top spot. It's been a few races since he's been there. I think he'll be hankering for that gold trophy. Liverpool is 0-0. Callum now 2.7 seconds, so he's gained half a second in the space of a lap. Can he do it and get back-to-back wins and start moving his way up as Katamise has lost position out to Portuguese, and Portuguese making mincemeat of the cat meat up before the outer chicane. And Katamise, you can see, is just struggling a little bit of traction, needs to pit again and potentially wait until last minute to go into some fresh tyres to maybe try and get a fastest lap. But all the while the cars behind are closing in. Caps off unlocking himself. Yeah, he is unlocking himself. He's still going in P5. So Haas boys looking for some valuable points here. Lennon now 2.9 seconds behind Katamise. And gained a couple of tenths because of Katamise struggles through the chicanes. And look at Lennon's drift come out of turn 4. Sweet as enough. And Lennon is now closed there, and Katami's lost traction round Tosa chicane, and that's unfortunate. He's running so well, and he's got a puncture. Katami's has got a puncture, and will that bring out a safety car? He's gone too long on the tyres, and to be fair, that's his own fault. I don't know what he was trying to prove. At the moment it hasn't, but he's got a puncture. And he's been on these tyres for 24 laps. Loses traction going around Piratella. You can't put your foot down with a puncture, my guy. Turkey's a track limits by the fascination. His wheels in the floor. And no wonder he is struggling. His tyres gone. That's hilarious. Not for him, but that's hilarious. I don't know what he was doing, trying to stay out so long. But that will promote Jax Daniels as he lets him and put Big Racky through. Big Racky's caught up with Jax on his fresh tyres. They'll be steaming. Like a woman on heat. And will he try and make the move on Jax Daniels down the start finish? Katami's coming round. Now Terry's is caught up with Katami's. Katami's has lost it round the Rivatsa. And meow, 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 meow. Gets lapped now by Amadi. And Amadi and Callum get to drive past and laugh. We're 3 laps away. Katami's has to pit, which means he does serve finally his final pit stop of the race. So we're on lap 29 out of 32. Amadi leading the way. Managed to, his kind of tyres have equalised now on Callum and have gained a couple of tenths and just equalised that distance. So Callum now P2. Cat's still going in P3. 4.7 seconds gap to Portuguese. Can he keep that gap for the next 3 laps? As Capsock is now promoted up to P12, which he'll be happy with that extra point. Every point matters as Jax gets himself another track limits. And will we see Katami's burn a lap and get a fastest lap? And the McLaren boys will want that taken away. It's a yellow flag. Is that Katami's on his fresh tyres? It doesn't seem so. I think that might have been Benji again. I may be wrong. Or is it Jackson? Raki side by side. Baraki on the inside, turn 2. And brilliant overtake and brilliant driving from those pair. Could easily lose wings. And Jax held on for as long as he could. But would want to finish the race. Brilliant overtake there from Big Raki. Up to P9. The kick boys need some points on the board. And these are some decent points to attribute to that. And Portuguese now closing the Cats, and he's gained a couple of seconds. He can see Cats in his sights. I think everyone will be watching, will be supporting Cats, will be going, no, leave him alone. That will be an absolute bummer. But to be fair, Portuguese has yet to get a podium himself this season, and we'll be hankering one for him, for him and his team. A little bit lost of traction out of Tosa, but it's now 2.3 seconds. Has 2 lap fresher tyres, and every little detail matters. Terry's gets himself another track limits. Jax has been dropped by Big Raki now by 2 seconds. I think this is going to be the closest battle we're going to have at the moment. Benji's maintaining a distance behind Lennon, who's running a great race in P5. Very consistent race from him. And I think this middle batch will be decided by penalties. It's now 1.5 seconds. with 2 laps to go for these two. Come on, Cats. Come on, Cats. Nothing against Portuguese at all. But Cats needs points on the board, and this will give him a massive confidence boost for the rest of the season. Managed to gain a couple of tenths. Had a better exit coming out of Tamburillo. And Beiraki gets himself another track limits. Portuguese gets a better launch off Tosa though. 1.2 seconds. Callum's completely consoled now to accepting P2. He's not pushing it now to the end. Maybe conserving a bit of battery and trying to do a fastest lap on the final lap. And Amadi hasn't had it all his own way. It's just how things have unfolded. He's managed to end himself on top. Chose the correct strategy. Portuguese now half a second behind. And right on the gearbox as Rowley gets himself a track limits again as well. And it's right on the gearbox of Cats. Cats is going to be defending for all his might. It all depends on who's got more ERS battery. Looks like Cats has got a better straight line speed. It doesn't surprise me when Katamis is his teammate. But Portuguese all over his gearbox. Drifting a little bit out of the exit of Tamburillo. But this is going to go to the wire. I'll keep an eye on Amadi, just so we can watch him cross the line. But this is going to go right to the distance. Both getting a tricky launch off Tosa. I sense drama too, Dave. I hope there's not going to be any lunges, but I don't think Portuguese will do that. Portuguese is a great driver. He's not going to risk it all just for potentially fuck up each other's races. As Amadi goes past the line and wins the race at Imola. Great race from him. As Cats is still ahead, coming out of the outer chicane. As Callum crosses the line, takes P2. Congratulations to him, but we've got to go to these two. As there's still Portuguese pushing Cats round Ravazza. I don't know if he's going to do it. It's going to go to the line. As Cats loses traction on the exit. No, they're side by side, but he has the better straight line speed. And who's got it? Cats takes it by 0.035 of a second. Wow. Oh my God. As Lennon gets himself a track limits. And, oh my God. Oh my giddy aunt. The Portuguese gets a well-deserved P4 from P14. And Lennon will cross the line P5. Congratulations to him. Benji Boy will take P6. Rowley, who started on pole but had that drive-through penalty which completely screwed his race, takes P7. Holy fucking D-Cat. Congratulations on the podium. Well done in your first points of the season as well. Kisa taking P8. And great race from him. Gaining a couple positions in the final stint of the race. And it's tricky conditions all round. It looks like it's drying up now the race is finished. Big Raki has taken P9. Well done to him. And Jack Daniels takes P10. Wow, what a race that was. And it threw up more than I expected. And if Lennon, you're still in, Liverpool are 1-0. Lynn at Liverpool 1-0. Game gives Portuguese driver of the day. It is a driver's vote, of course, in the Discord. And I have a sneaky feeling who I'm potentially going to give it to. Newcastle now in the lead, 2-1. And there's the flip there from Mamadi. We've seen it many times before. And gets a shake of the hand and sniffs his fingers. Whoa, and there's our running up the boys, up the Cats. But Amadi takes P1 and the fastest lap with a 1:22.7. Callum taking P2 from and gaining a position, and Cats storming race, gets his first podium of the season. Unfortunate to Portuguese, who started, like I said, from P14, 0.035 in it. Wow. Lennon P5, up to P6 from P11 for Benji, so he'll be happy with that. Rolly P7, that drive-through messes race up. Keezer P8, Big Racky P9, gaining a few places from P13, so I'll be happy with that too. Jack's up to P10 from 12, and Terry's up to P11. Cat's up P12, and Katami's rounding up the finishes. Unfortunately, losing Elite Dave, Marty, and Signgate for numerous reasons. I tell you what, I wasn't prepared this week, and didn't get myself a drink, so I'm fucking parched after that. But that was absolutely brilliant. I really, really enjoyed that, and I hope you all did too. Next week, so that is halfway through the season, race 5. We do carry on next week, and it will be at Jeddah. Ooh, and it is a mandatory tyre race. Ooh, which means every driver has to use a set of softs, medium, and hards. Ooh. And I'll be doing that for the next week. My name's Alex. This is Lighthouse Lee Racing. Peace out.